How do you automate the process from coming up with an idea to building your first product? Well, the idea is to have a data pipeline that reliably churns out great ideas, and a way to give your agent the full product spec so it can plan and build based on that. This is the Clawsmith pipeline. It scans a bunch of platforms for what people are actually asking for. Those are the signals. From the signals, it branches two ways: the product ideas and the leads, the actual people who want it. DeepAI.vc adds a capital check on top, so any idea with real VC money behind it gets tagged premium. The idea becomes the product docs, the full spec, and your agent builds it. You ship, and your product re-enters the pipeline. It's a closed loop. Clawsmith turns those ideas into a full requirements doc and connects to your coding agent through MCP so it can plan and build. So let me show you how it actually works. Okay, so we're going to go on clawsmith.com, and remember, this is how it's spelled: CLWSMTH.com. So once we're on Clawsmith, we are going to get a builder account. The builder account allows you to gain access to the ideas, the signals, and most importantly, the API access. And right now, there is a super limited lifetime deal that is way better than the monthly deal, so make sure you get that. But once we get the lifetime deal, we'll be on the ideas page, and if you're not, then just go on the top right and click on the ideas page. This is where all the categories of the ideas are, and there are 5 categories. One is SaaS/web applications, browser extensions, mobile apps, dev tools/CLI tools, and agentic AI tools and MCPs. The reason why the ideas are separated into these 5 categories is because these are the 5 most buildable ideas. Even if you have an idea, it's kind of useless if the app idea is way too big of a project to actually build. So these categories make sure that the ideas are actually buildable, even if you're just first starting. So we're going to pick a category that we want to build in, and today we're going to pick SaaS apps. So we're on the SaaS app, so now we can see all the ideas that we can build from, and there are a couple of things that I want you to pay attention to. One is the legacy toggle. You might have noticed that when the legacy toggle is on, there are a lot of OpenClaw ideas, and this is from Clawsmith v2, where our main focus was on issues, problems, and ideas in the OpenClaw ecosystem. And if you don't want to build in OpenClaw, simply toggle this off, and we can see all the newer ideas. And the second thing I wanted to pay attention to is the little logos down here. These denote where the ideas are sourced from. So in Clawsmith, the ideas are sourced from real pain points by real people on actual forums, and you can see here that this one was from a GitHub issue. And Y Combinator, which means that it's from Hacker News, because Y Combinator acquired Hacker News. And you can see there are other ones where it's from Reddit and Hacker News. So this makes sure that all the ideas actually come from real forums. We are going to pick this idea right here. And this is the idea document or the idea dossier. And I'll go through the sections one by one. We can see we have the title of the app, which is an app that stress tests AI agents on real multiple-step production tasks before they're shipped. And here's a quick description of it that tells you why we have this idea in the first place. And then we can see the demand breakdown, the social proof, gap assessment, features, competitive landscape, and leads. And if we look at the top right, there's the aggregate score. So I'll explain the important ones so that you get an idea of how an idea inside of Clawsmith works. So the social proof is probably one of the most important aspects inside of Clawsmith because we are building apps to sell it to real people. And with a social proof like this, with people posting about real issues on real problems, we know for a fact that real people are talking about these issues. So we know for a fact that there are going to be actual users that might want to use the app that you built. And then we're going to go down to the features. So we can see that Clawsmith lists all the major features that we should build here. And if we click on it, it's a little bit of a lengthy text, but this is basically a prompt you can copy and paste into your coding agent. But there's actually a better approach, which I will show you in a bit. So we have all the features here, like real-world tasks, gauntlet library, agent connection and run orchestration, failure taxonomy and structure scoring, reliability score, ship/no-ship gate. This is all real engineering grade features that we should build into our product. Then down here, we can see all the competitors. Some of the larger competitors are like Langsmith, HumanLayer, AgentOps, BrainRust. So it seems like this space is a little bit congested, but it's okay because what we can actually do is you can mutate your ideas a little bit and find a single aspect in which these competitors didn't do well, and you can add those features and then grab all the customers this way. So down here is an experimental section, which is leads. What this is right now currently is the real people that are talking about this issue. Once again, knowing the fact that real people are talking about this specific issue is one of the most important things about the data pipelines in Clawsmith. So this is basically a proof section where we're saying, here are the people that talked about this issue. And I think in the future, we actually want to have actual leads where you can reach out to once you build the product. And this will make Clawsmith more powerful. Okay, let's move on. Let's take a look at the aggregate score up here. This number isn't just randomly generated by AI, by the way. Where this number came from is the actual source signals. So we can see it down here. Let's click on the source signals. The source signal is basically a place where you can see where people are actually discussing this issue, why the signal is brought up. This is a single unit of a signal, and that aggregate score comes from the virality score, which is the literal social engagement from those platforms. This is a real number, this is not made up. So if we go back to the idea, we see that it inherits the aggregate score, inherits the virality score from all the signals, and if there are multiple, then it's just going to add on top of this score. So a rule of thumb is, the higher the virality score, the more people are discussing about this issue, this is a bigger issue, and technically, the more valid the product. But the caveat is, if a lot of people are discussing this issue, there are probably a lot of competitors already. So you can weigh this at your own cost, whether you want to go for an idea with a high aggregate score or a lower one. Okay, so now that you have an idea like this, how are we going to start building it? Are we going to literally copy this whole thing and then put it into our coding agent like Claude Code or Codex? No, that's like a much slower way than how we do it in Clawsmith. And this is one of the main selling points about Clawsmith, is it enables you to connect your coding agent to Clawsmith directly and have your coding agent pull all this data and then turn the idea into a full-blown production-grade product docs. You can start building on it. I'll show you exactly how. What you're going to do is you're going to go on the top right, click on your avatar, click on Settings, API Keys, and then create an API key. We're going to create a key called test1. We're going to hit create key. Now we can see that the API key is created. Now I'm going to deprecate this key right after the tutorial, so don't try to use it. And if you create an API key, please don't share this with anyone and try to rotate it on a regular interval. Okay, so once we have the API key, we're going to select our coding agent. Right now I'm using Claude Code, so that's what I'm going to choose. But as you can see here, it's compatible with OpenClaw, Codex, Cursor, VS Code, and Windsor, and basically any coding engine that uses VS Code or can run inside of VS Code. So let's select Claude Code. If you have Claude Code, there are a couple options I suggest. One is a local scope command, and one is a user scope. A local scope means that you can only use this MCP, use your credentials, within a certain project. But user scope just allows you to use it across a user on your computer. The most secure way is to have the local scope, basically the smallest scope possible. But because we're doing a tutorial here, and if you want to work on multiple different projects and multiple different ideas, I would suggest the user scope. Okay, we're going to hit copy, and then we're going to go to our coding agent. So right now I'm inside Claude Code, and I'm just using the desktop version, but it's pretty much the same if you use it on a terminal or just inside your coding IDE. I used Claude Code to create a demo folder where I'll do this tutorial in. So remember, the last thing we did was we copied the command. Now we're in Claude Code. We're actually going to go on the top right, click on Terminal. We are going to paste the command into the terminal. This step connects your Claude Code to Clawsmith using MCP. This is super important because this is what allows you to start building your product right away after finding a good idea. Because I've installed the MCP already, so I'm going to skip this step. But normally you would just paste this and then press enter to connect. So now that we're connected, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Clawsmith, go back to the idea that we wanted to build, and we're going to click on build this product. Select Claude Code or whatever agent you're using. We're going to skip step 1 because we just did it, and we're going to go to step 2 and copy this prompt. And we have this prompt here that says, use the Clawsmith MCP to get the product brief for the idea and break it down into implementation steps and walk me through building it. So since your Claude Code is already connected to MCP, what this does is it's going to pull the idea, it's going to turn it into an idea brief, and it might ask you some questions if you use planning mode on how exactly you want to design this app or if you want to mutate it. And after we get the full product document, it's going to start building the product. So we're going to click on copy. Then go back to Claude Code. Go to the prompt box and paste that command in. And before we even hit send, I'm going to suggest a good practice thing that I hope you know with any kind of coding agent, which is to plan first. So on Claude Code, right now we're on auto mode. We're going to click on this and then select plan mode. Using plan mode allows your model to look at the task, look at what you're saying, and break the task into specific steps and lay out an entire implementation plan. This one trick allows your output to be so much better than if you didn't. Trust me on this, just use plan mode. After we get plan mode, we're going to hit send. And what your AI agent is going to do is it's going to use the MCP tool that we just installed. It's going to look at the idea, pull the idea from Clawsmith, and it's going to use a hidden skill that we put cleverly inside of Clawsmith to enrich the idea and build an entire product documentation out of it. And right now we're in this kind of interactive process of building out the plan and the full requirements document. So right now it's asking me whether I want to do the core MVP, minimal demo, or full MVP. If you're confident about building products and you have a lot of experience, you can just build a full product. Top models like Claude Opus 4.8 has the ability to do so. But if you're just starting, I would recommend building a demo first or building an MVP. So we're going to select MVP. Then it's going to say, look, you need a database for this. And should it just be local in memory or a real Supabase database? So in a real application, you definitely want to select a database like Supabase. I want to make this clear, but right now I'm only selecting local in memory for demo purposes. So if you're building a real application that people use, which is most likely what people are using Clawsmith for, you are going to select real Supabase. So after you answer those questions, it's going to start thinking. It's going to start looking at the idea, and it's going to start building the plan. Okay, cool. So we fast forward a little bit, and we see that right here, Claude has given us a plan. And this plan is the exact kind of execution brief of how Claude is going to build out this product. It's given some context. It's saying what we're building. It's saying the exact stack. So the slices of execution, what it's actually going to build. So this plan looks a little bit minimal. That's probably because this app is very small. But ideally, I think in the next update, the tool will make your AI plan out more exact features and then ask you about the UI, UX, and just the entire thing. So you have a pretty beefy requirements document. And that's important because the better your plan or your requirements document is, the better your product. And this is requirements-driven production. So in this tutorial, we'll just skip the step of the building because it's literally just using tokens. But what we're actually able to do is just to build products at a human pace. So what Clawsmith essentially allows here is for you to start building products that came from verified ideas and verified sources as fast as possible.